Hi guys, today I'm going to be telling you guys the story of Lizzie and Cooper. So at the time I was still pretty young, around, I don't know how old I was at the time, but I lived in an apartment building instead of a mansion because I was still going to school, still going to high school. But I was around 17 or 16, I'm not sure. But I didn't have the best school because I was pretty poor because this apartment looks like it's big but it's actually really small. I didn't have much clothes. I sometimes barely even had any clothes. I had to wear the same outfit every day. But that didn't bother me that I didn't have any money. The only thing that bothered me was the upstairs. I couldn't sleep at night sometimes because the upstairs would be so noisy. I would hear crying and yelling upstairs. And I didn't know why. But I didn't know who was upstairs, but I think it was my neighbor Jessie. We never really got along because she was a really, really grumpy person. She once said that she had 3 kids, but I'm not sure if that's a true fact. I just couldn't go to sleep sometimes. So after a few days passed of hearing crying upstairs, I still didn't think much about it and I ignored it. I still did what I do every day, eat my food, do my stuff. But day and night passed when I kept hearing the crying every day. One day my head started banging. I couldn't even sleep. My head was hurting so much. And the crying was getting louder and louder and louder and so much more yelling. So I decided to go check who was upstairs and ask them to keep it down. So they lived upstairs, so it wasn't really, I just had to go on the elevator. Then I knocked on their door and but they didn't really open it, and I was waiting there for a while until she came. She opened the door and I told her, "Can you please keep it down?" And she got very, very angry and started yelling at me. And I didn't know why. I was just in shock. Then she went back. So I decided I needed to get to the bottom of this. So she forgot to lock the door. I know this is like sneaking in, but I really needed to know. And I was literally only 17 or 16, so I was definitely cheeky. I walked, and there I saw the angry yelling mom. And she was yelling at 2 little children, which was Lizzie and Cooper. At the time, I didn't know their names, and their names wasn't Lizzie and Cooper. Then I quickly ran back to my house, ran back to my apartment, and I was thinking about it, and I had to do something about this abusive mother. Of course, I didn't know what to do. So I sat down on the chair thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking again. When it was morning, I got really tired and I fell asleep. But then my head started banging again. There was so much noise everywhere. I had to get to the bottom of this. Is she actually an abusive mother, or is there a reason to that yelling? She was yelling she was yelling all night, so she definitely didn't lock the door because I came in and she didn't lock it anyways. So I was looking, and there I saw 2 little children standing there frightened. They were all crying, but she had 3 kids, and I was looking. And I tried to hide and be very quiet. And I looked and looked. And the mother was so angry and only 2 children were crying. I didn't know why, but the only thing I noticed was that they had brown hair instead of blonde hair like their mother. It's not that I'm being rude or anything, but that's the only thing that kind of made me think. Are they really the children? And one of the child was laughing, and she had blonde hair, so that made me think, what is going on? And then, as soon as the mother was about to go to the bathroom, I didn't know what to do. I quickly ran and I went out to the balcony area so they wouldn't see me. Then, after she did her business and she went back, I immediately went back to my apartment and I was ready. So I thought of an idea. So my idea was I go and get the cops, because if I call the cops in front of him, in front of the abusive mother, what would she do to me? I was really weak, and how old is she? She might even know karate or something if she can make those 2 children cry for like who knows how long. So I decided to head to the police station. There was a police station right near us, so I went there and I told the police everything about the abusive mother. I told him everything about the abusive mother. He was also in complete shock. And he said no worries, he was going to take me there. He was going to. I was super nervous. I hoped my plan would work. Or of course it would work. I kept telling myself in my head. We went to the 2nd floor where they lived. Then immediately we got there, a sharp pain to our ears. So much screaming and so much yelling. The police broke into their house and then said, "Put your hands up in the air. Don't take one more step." There they were, 2 crying children and an angry mother. And they interrogated everywhere, and they were going to arrest. They took everybody. I carried the 2 children because they were so scared and so traumatized by what they just saw, or what the mother was doing to them. Well, of course they were scared. And so we went to the police station to interrogate, to investigate what was happening and why was she being abusive. We got off and police also got off. We quickly locked the mother in jail and we looked at all the children. They were all crying except the blonde hair. She was actually laughing at the 2 children. It made me cry seeing how bad that was. So I carried the children to make them feel better. And they talked to the mother, and these 2 children weren't even hers. She kidnapped these 2 children. And the police told me, can I take these 3 children to the nearest orphanage? I said, absolutely, we could. It was more like a daycare than an orphanage, but it was both. So we went to the nearest orphanage. I took all 3 of the kids. We went in. Got out and we saw this nice man saying, "Oh, this is the orphanage." And we went to find the person that owned the orphanage. It was this nice lady, and she said that, yeah. But then the little child They were all crying, and I didn't know why they were. And the orphanage person asked them what was their name. The girl said, my name is Stephanie. And the blonde girl said, my name is Brittany. And the boy said, my name is Jason. And I told them that it's okay. And I carried them, and they looked, but in a while, of course, that little Brittany was spoiled, so she didn't even care about her mother, and she just started playing with the blocks and everything. The two children looked at me dead in the eye with those cute eyes. I even looked back at them with those cute eyes. I didn't know what to do. They were so adorable. They didn't want to go to the orphanage, so I decided to adopt them then and there. Even though it was going to be very hard, I still adopted them anyways. So they were so happy. They were the happiest people ever now. And after signing a lot of forms, I finally took them home. And that was the story of Cooper and Lizzie.
Goodbye.